Well, and we're going to keep it going today. We're going to do yet another watch along, one of the more iconic matches in your career, and probably the most important match in the history of Ricky Steamboat's career. He's finally going to become the world champion. It happened February 20th, 1989. Of course, people talk about the trilogy from 89 as if it's the greatest trilogy of any match ever. But Rick, you've told me for years, you guys had your best matches maybe a decade before. Is that right?
Well, it's hard to say that they were better, but I don't think I don't think from the time that maybe after a couple of years of working with each other that we ever had anything that wasn't as good as Chicago or any other type. But we didn't have we both wanted to deliver the best product, and we both worked out extremely hard. He was in amazing condition. You don't ever see a match where we sat in a hold for any period of time, and we didn't have to catch our breath. We just went at each other, and he let me hit him as hard as I could, and vice versa. It was a war.
It felt like a cardiovascular affair, and it goes all the way back. The first documented match I could find was June 15th, 1977, when Steamboat defeated you for the NWA Mid-Atlantic television title,
Yep.
the TV match that was taped in Raleigh. And this is before either one of you were sniffing at world championship gold, but you saw something in Steamboat way back then, right?
I absolutely did. And what happened is Jimmy. That's when Barnett was running Georgia. Jimmy Crockett was, of course, running Mid Atlantic, and they wanted they needed needed another baby in North Carolina, and so the Crockett's gave up one man gang, and we got Ricky Steamboat, and the rest is history. And then through it was just brutal, Ricky against all, and back then, well, I guess it's been that way forever. I don't think so much now, but when you were a young kid coming up, especially like with me when I started or when Steamboat started, it was really hard to get to even get a place next to a veteran guy who had a big name. It was a different time.
So
You didn't get booked into that position. You earned your right to be there.
it also feels like from 77 to 84, you guys are going to wrestle each other what feels like hundreds of times. It may not
Yeah.
actually be that many, but I think a lot of our younger listeners maybe are just familiar with more the television era. But before everything was televised in the territory era, man, you were working 6 or 7 days a week, a different town every day, and oftentimes the exact same opponent because
7 days a week.
so talk
Yeah.
to me about that, where you're in a rhythm where once upon a time you're having match after match after match with this guy. You can't help but develop some sort of relationship where there's nonverbal cues between the two of you. You really get in sync in that time. Do you know it?
Yeah, we never talked about anything. It just we he trusted me, and then he got to the point where I mean, I always trusted him. He listened, and he just knew where to be. He will be in my mind one of the top three professional wrestlers of all time. Even
And
though he only worked one side, but he just there's no one like him now.